I get up at 5:45 a.m. and set up my camera so that I can film myself getting up at 6. At 6:40, I move my camera, go to the top of a mountain, and do my yoga routine. It's the same as doing yoga in my bedroom, but it takes 4 times as long. At 8:30, I move my camera and it's time for breakfast. On my health journey, I discovered activating my almonds, and I can't say how much it has changed my life. I mean, I literally can't tell if it's working. My breakfast also includes kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kefir, or the a.k.a. Unlike the journaling and the activated almonds, the kefir really does do something. It makes my life worse. I fucking hate kefir. At 9 o'clock, I move my camera and film myself working. I have a content decision to make. I can either frame my work as going well and look inspirational, or I can portray it as challenging and pretend like I'm failing to create some kind of character arc. I'm essentially trapped in a soap opera of my own creation. At 1 o'clock, I move my camera and eat lunch. I used to suffer from brain fog and bloating before coming across an infographic detailing Himalayan salt and its effects on aging and AIDS. I make sure to eat food with lots of polyphenols, probiotics, and antioxidants. I don't really know what any of those words mean, though. I spend hours every day trying to min-max my every meal based on recommendations of 10 contradictory health blogs. At 6 o'clock, I move my camera and it's time for dinner. I spend half of my meal making faces to show how good my food is, and I spend the other half staring indifferently into space. There is an idea of who I am, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can spectate my life in exhaustive detail, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there. Veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So, I think that veganism is pretty cool. Like, you've got your dope food, you've got your kindness to animals, you've got your sense of kinship to your one true love, Joaquin Phoenix.
And the Oscar goes to Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I've been thinking a lot about some of the distressing issues that we are facing collectively. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. And then we take her milk that's intended for a calf, and we put it in our coffee and our cereal.
You so fucking precious when you smile.
But if veganism is so great, then why do I keep seeing all of these "I'm no longer vegan" YouTube videos? So to find out, I punched "why I'm no longer vegan" into the search bar, sorted by most views, and took a close look at the most popular ex-vegans, the champions of the community, the thought leaders, the faces of the movement. So that's all this video is going to be. I'm going to take a look at the most popular ex-vegans, then try to figure out who they are as people and why they are ex-vegans, and then, in the process, paint a kind of portrait. Up first is Nicokado Avocado, a.k.a. Nicholas Perry. Alright, because Nick's life has already been absolutely exhaustively documented, with some videos clocking in at 4.5 hours, and because Nick's life is so weird and sad, I don't think it's worth covering him. It's like trying to learn some universal lesson from the human pet guy, which is, if you're unfamiliar, exactly what it sounds like. The next most popular ex-vegan video comes from Sarah's Day. At age 20, on August 5th, 2013, Sarah created her YouTube channel titled Sarah's Day to accompany her inspirational and wellness-oriented Instagram account that she made earlier that same year. So Wholesome 100. I feel inspired. Do you feel inspired? This is inspirational. She's on her fitness/wellness/spiritual journey. Anyway, Sarah will go on to be a successful YouTube personality, clocking in at 1.5 million subscribers and roughly 300 million views. Her most successful videos are: I'm giving birth on YouTube, I will soon give birth on YouTube, I'm hot, I'm gonna give birth, I've been hot for a long time, I'm hot, I'm gonna give birth soon, and I'm giving birth on YouTube. I don't know, gov. I feel like somewhere buried in there is a pattern, but you know, it's too elusive. If you want to pierce to the core of someone's online presence, a good place to start is their first couple of posts. So here is Sarah's first video, titled About Me, first video.
You know, it's pretty much just going to be a channel about, you know, how I fix my skin, different natural homemade remedies I use on my skin, like face masks and things like that. I totally believe in the power of fruits and vegetables and superfoods. I'm 100% off gluten and dairy. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. Bye!
Her second video is more of the same, and it's called How to Get a Flat Stomach, Juice Tutorial, Natural, Vegan, Plant-Based, Home Remedy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah's Day. Today's video is going to be about getting a flat stomach. This is a juice to help you cleanse, detox, and not feel bloated, and it completely flushes everything out of my system, detoxifies me, alkalizes my body. But just a disclaimer, your poop will become pink for a little bit, but that's so normal. It means it's working, it means it's going through your system and going through your body and detoxing your body. Thanks for tuning in, I'll see you guys later. Bye!
If you've spent any time around health influencers, or just good old-fashioned health grifters, you know that words like alkalize and detox are always followed by some pitch to sell definitely overpriced and definitely useless supplements. So for example, Body Bloom. When you really stop and think about it, I feel like Body Bloom sounds like what the boomer had in Left 4 Dead. Anyway, so Sarah had acne when she was a teenager, and she shows some examples of it on her channel. It's totally standard acne, and it's not even the worst that I've seen in my own personal friends circle in secondary school. As detailed in her hormonal acne plus the pill video, Sarah went on and off some birth control, and it worked, and she got rid of her acne.
I went back on the pill, I went back on Yasmin. But it took around 4 to 5 months for me to see an improvement. So once I'd been on it for 5 months, my skin was clear and beautiful again.
She's had basically perfect skin for the past decade, as documented by her, honestly, so raw and vulnerable and relatable Instagram account. I've basically trained once in the past 5 days, lived off snack foods like health chips, bars, fruit, and chocolate, and I've spent way too much time in front of a computer screen. But then the picture is just this, which like, yeah, you really look like you're struggling right there. Another favorite of mine is opening up about my insecurities one of my favorite vlogs ever. And the thumbnail is just this.
Kevin, your dog just died.
So, using the experience of having had acne that one time a decade ago, Sarah releases Body Bloom, the thing that you should buy to have perfect skin.
So my infamous pink drink is called Body Bloom. Turmeric and cinnamon. Cinnamon is actually full of antibacterial properties, so it's going to help combat that bacteria that often causes acne.
There are 4 noteworthy things about Body Bloom. Number 1, it costs 43 Freedom Dollars per 200 grams, so $215 per kilo. It's like 1/3 the price of literal pure silver. Numero 2. This powder has what is probably the most pretentious ingredient list I've ever read. We've got green banana resistant starch powder, Jerusalem artichoke inulin powder, Saccharomyces chef boyardee, Australian cherry powder, grapeseed extract powder, sea buckthorn juice powder, ambla fruit powder, and turmeric. Number 3. You'll notice that despite the long and varied ingredients list, Body Bloom does not actually include the single thing that helped Sarah's skin, which was of course birth control. This whole grift has worked out for Sarah, since she got on the news by buying a second house that will be used as a holiday house / photography studio. You know, I don't own even a single house, so maybe I should start selling supplements. Introducing Creative Force Deluxe. It uses nutraceutical grade LSD to... Sarah has 586 videos at the time of writing, which seems like too many, and I can't watch them all. So instead, I used this neat Python package to download all the auto-generated subtitles for Sarah's videos, and I searched those subtitles for relevant terms. Sarah uses the term vegan in 118 videos, almost always to describe a product that is made of plants, but she explicitly mentions animal rights exactly once, in a video titled What I Eat, Why I'm No Longer Vegan, Day in the Life.
However, with myself, I was vegan for, I'm probably gonna get these wrong. I think I was vegan for like 6 months and I was raw vegan for 3 months. Originally, I dabbled with veganism and started researching it because of my skin. Then the cravings started. I started craving tuna and eggs, yogurt, dairy. I was craving literally every single animal product. I was even having dreams about like steak and fish. It was like so weird. And then I sort of reached a turning point when I went to my uncle's farm. They have a farm and they raise cattle and like sell it for beef and stuff like that. And so I was talking to him about veganism, and that sort of opened my eyes. Like, a lot of documentaries are made from a biased perspective. Like, normally the people who are making the documentaries are vegans themselves, so they'll purposely find clips of like the worst of the worst. In my opinion, it's your job and my job as a consumer to determine what you support. So yeah, that's sort of the animal rights section discussed.
So Sarah went on a bunch of really restrictive plant-based diets, and then she got tired of the restrictions, and then she decided, hey, I would like to eat animals again.
So yeah, that's sort of the animal rights section discussed.
Isn't it a funny thing how animal rights only come up when people try to justify themselves? Up next is... Blaire White. Fuck me. If you don't know who Blaire White is, then congrats, and just keep doing what you're doing. Terabytes of discourse detail all the various bad things that Blaire White has said and done. The Cliff Notes version is that Blaire is a transgender Candace Owens, which means Blaire says shitty stuff about trans people and then uses the fact that she's a trans woman as a defense. She's amassed over 200 million views, and the general tenor of Blaire's contributions to the world are... If the statement trans women are women were true, the statement women are trans women would be equally as true, but virtually no one thinks that. Just an observation. I love how it's just like, an observation really makes you think. Blaire White, truly a mind of our times. Most of the information about Blaire and veganism comes from her video titled why I stopped being vegan after 10 years.
This video is sponsored by me. My official merch store is now online.
Straight from the jump, we have two genders stuff, fuck Antifa, it's all lame, edgy crap.
I have been vegan, or I was vegan, for 10 years of my life, from age 14 to now 24. I originally went vegan for ethical and health reasons. So the ethical was I didn't like factory farming, I didn't like the practices used in the killing of the animals for meat, and I also became vegan for health issues. I wanted to lose weight, and it worked. I actually lost a lot of weight very quickly upon going vegan. For about 6 months of the digestive issues, the looking freakishly pale, the passing out nearly when I'm standing up out of bed or off a chair, lethargic, depression. So what I did was I went to a doctor and I got all my levels checked, and basically I was deficient in so many things. In particular, B12, I was disastrously deficient. So I went out and I got supplements for every single thing I was deficient in, and that got old really, really quickly. If you're new to this channel, or if you don't know, I am transgender, which part of that entails taking hormones every single day to keep my levels at a normal female level. And I take 6 pills every single day just to do that. So that's just dealing with me being trans. So I'm taking all these supplements on top of taking 6 pills a day just for my hormone levels, and I'm like, okay, something has to give. I am not going to destroy my liver taking a dozen pills every single day just to make up for the fact that I'm not eating certain foods when I could just eat those certain foods. YouTube recently demonetized.
So that's basically the story. Blaire goes vegan at age 14, and then a decade later she finds out that she's deficient in a bunch of vitamins. She tries to supplement, finds it inconvenient, and abandons ship. She comes across a lot more sympathetic in a debate stream titled Discussing Veganism with Blaire White, in large part due to the fact that the vegan dude that Blaire is debating is really annoying.
You agree, obviously. Isn't it obvious to you? You understand that, okay, but Blaire, again, not to be rude, but a contradictory position. I could also kind of push at you on a logical level. I mean, your position is probably not consistent. Like I'll show you why. You do agree that your ethics should be logically consistent, right? You'd agree that your ethics should be consistent. You agree that your ethics should be consistent, surely. Okay, let me just show you the problem with that, right? So you agree that it's wrong to stab a human. You think your ethics should be consistent. So
I'm not entirely vegan right now. I think it's like appropriate to say I'm mostly vegan. And if that's not like good enough for some people, I guess I'm not here to be good enough for some people. I'm not here to like justify myself to people. It's like I lay my head on the pillow just fine. I am someone who has spent the majority of their life being as conscious as possible about animal welfare and about the ethics. And I feel like I'm at a point where I can't necessarily do it all, but I can do a lot, and I'm gonna do a lot. You know what I mean?
I think that Blaire's an outlier compared to all the other people in this video. For one, she's not a health grifter, though she is a conservative grifter, so there's still kind of a pattern. And for two, she genuinely does try to justify her actions, and as far as I can tell, she really does feel bad about the whole eating animals thing. So because of those two things, I want to like explicitly note that I don't think she fits the general portrait in the end. But she did go on Alex Jones, so.
I've been shadow banned. I've been called a liar. I've been silenced on virtually every platform created by man. My life has been threatened.
Look at this
repeatedly. They've tried to destroy me, but I survived. And that's why I'm joining Mug Club. We know the chemicals in the water and the food changing, at least in brain physiology, the minds of children. And it changes the minds of frogs, fish, other mammals. So it really is true that that's going on, and that is happening. And so when I first talked about this decades ago, they would attack.
Evolving with Alyse. Alyse Parker was born around 1995, hey girl same, and started her YouTube channel on June 14th, 2014. She has since amassed 100 million views, which in saner times is the kind of reach that was reserved to like heads of state. Her top videos are: I cut off dreadlocks, I don't wear a bra, I don't shower, my morning routine but with a nude-ish thumbnail for the clicks, why I don't shave body hair, I don't own a lot of stuff, my birth control, and more dreadlock stuff. When Alyse was 21-ish, she dropped out of college and enrolled with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. Integrative nutrition sounds suspicious. There's a great website called Quackwatch, which basically keeps an eye on grifters in medicine, and they've got a whole section dedicated to good old Institute for Integrative Nutrition. The institute was started by some guy called Joshua Rosenthal, and according to Quackwatch, his primary qualification before starting the place was that he owned a, quote, natural food store. You know the kind, where a chocolate is $5 but it still tastes like shit. Attending the institute costs between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on what, quote, deal you get. I know this because I went through part of the process for applying, gave them a burner email, and they've since sent me 26 sales emails like, last call to claim your tuition grant, equals $UTF-8 Q equals E2 equals 8F equals B0 . You are almost out of time. Your grant for up to $1,500 expires tomorrow. In exchange for $10,000, you learn about stuff like the Ayurveda diet, which bases food choices on alleged body types and the season of the year. The blood type diet, which claims that optimal diet depends on blood types. The 5-element theory, which recommends foods based on the ancient Chinese notion that we are surrounded by, quote, energy fields, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, that must be balanced to promote, quote, self-harmony.
Water.
The macrobiotics diet, which advocates foods based on, quote, balancing yin and yang. The institute is, unfortunately, not recognized by the Department of Education, and so it's basically worthless, certification-wise. Columbia University used to be affiliated with the institute, but then a bunch of people complained about the vibes-based curriculum, and so Columbia cut ties with IIN. Colin Campbell, PhD and Emeritus Professor of Nutrition at Cornell University, gave a lecture at the institute and then later asked that it be removed, saying, "The fact that the students are led to believe that they are credentialed in this subject is a disgrace. I am very much sensitive to the public's participation and interest in this topic, but enrolling in this lecture series is, in my opinion, a huge waste of time and money." Another fun fact is that graduates of the institute can sign up their friends and get kickbacks from the institute. Here's how it works. Sign up. Easily set up your account with your IIN Learning Center email. Start sharing. Send your custom referral links to your community. Earn rewards. Receive a monetary reward for every person who enrolls at IIN through you. And hey, wouldn't you know it, Alyse has just such a link on her website, AlyseParker.com, as well as underneath basically every single one of her videos. Want to take your passion for helping others to the next level? Learn how to become a successful health coach, make a positive impact in the world, and create financial abundance doing what you love. She's even got a little video to help you along your way.
Hello, my love. I am so excited to share with you an opportunity to become a holistic health coach and earn financial abundance doing what you love and making a positive impact in the world. Coaches are literally on the leading edge of creating positive change for humanity, and you can be a part of that change. I've been in your shoes, and when I first discovered that I could literally create a career path out of something that I was already naturally doing, I was like, this is it, sign me up. So after I graduated from IIN, I became what they call an ambassador, where I share about this opportunity with others. So in the past 5 years, I have helped hundreds of women in my online community go through the same exact program that I did and become wellness coaches, and the ripple effect keeps growing and growing. You can be that lighthouse for others just as I have been for you. So if you're still watching this video right now, this is a sign that you are ready to step into this role of leadership in your own unique way and be the light for others. My invitation to you is that you trust this calling.
Alyse also sells her own courses, of course. For just $222, you can, quote, learn how to embody your higher self and shine your light without slipping back into old patterns. I claim this reality. Oh, it's just like a bunch of YouTube videos and journaling tips. Oh, it's also non-refundable. And that turns out to be the value version. In her video titled, "The Secret to Making Your Dreams a Reality," the thumbnail of which seems to imply that the dream is taking modeling shots at a beach, Alyse gives profound, life-changing advice.
I want this. When you say I want this and I'm trying to do this, you're literally claiming and putting it out there that you're choosing to continue wanting and trying, which is literally the state of not having it. It's the state of lacking what you desire. So instead of staying in that state, get into the state of claiming this is already mine. I am already here. To kind of piggyback off of that, the power of matching your frequency, your energetic being to what you desire is something that should not be overlooked.
It's the secret. Alyse is selling the secret. That's why that word is in all caps in the title. It's basically religion, except you're the god. And oh boy is Alyse selling it. In the description you can find a link to her alignment accelerator, and for just $500, you too can get access to a whole 12 YouTube videos. What you learn: brain rewiring and neuroplasticity, self-awareness and energy tracking, the art of acceptance and non-attachment, identity work and laws of the universe. Probably not physics. The art of consistency and self-leadership, vision mapping and bringing dreams into physical form, and so much more.
But I think you'll find that what we lack in formal education, we more than make up for in street smarts.
Are there any frequently asked questions? Like, for example, what is the refund policy? Oh, no refunds. I feel like this is a for sale, baby shoes, never worn situation. Frequently asked questions: hey, can I get my money back? No. Around 2013, Alyse adapted a plant-based diet for the alleged health benefits. 110 out of 348 of Alyse's videos mentioned the term vegan. Again, mostly just to describe products made out of plants. But she mentions animal rights exactly once, in her video titled, "Everything I Wish I Said a Long Time Ago."
I feel like there was a big misconception that I totally acted like I never talked about animal rights, or that I never was into that. I don't know if I ever said that, but I don't think I did. I think that I said it was never the main focus of raw alignment. It was part of my journey where I learned about it, got really passionate about it, and it kind of like died down, and my underlying reason for going plant-based was for my health.
Isn't it funny how animal rights only come up when people are trying to justify themselves? Alyse's video on why she's no longer eating a plant-based diet is also a good watch.
But yeah, essentially I was experiencing symptoms that were a result of my external environment, which had toxic mold in it. And some of the symptoms that I was experiencing, as I said, progressively getting worse over the past couple of years, were migraine headaches, chronic sinus congestion. Essentially, I could not breathe out of my nose at all. Brain fog, memory loss, appetite loss, extreme appetite loss, inability to articulate myself and communicate properly. Those were like the bulk of my symptoms. So I became even more passionate about dietary choices and lifestyle choices that can basically enhance the brain, and more specifically mitochondrial functioning and repairing or replacing damaged neurons and glial cells. I just became fascinated with all of this and determined to figure out how I could get my brain working again. And some of the common things that kept coming up in my research was salmon and grass-fed beef. And just listening to my intuitive pull of salmon was just the thing that I was appealed to me. I tried salmon, I had 8 ounces of salmon, and I woke up the next morning with 0 congestion and 0 brain fog, 0 migraine, 0 lack of clarity. I literally went from suffering to thriving.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
So, a single serving of salmon cured 100% of Alyse's health problems, including her weird mold thing. I'd also like to point out that when Alyse says stuff like this,
I got so interested, I still am, in the concept of changing my external environment and my internal environment in order to enhance my health. And that concept, that kind of like process is something called biohacking that I've just been like so passionate about, and it's literally changed my life.
that is Alyse's brain working at 200% capacity. And then, just 9 months later, on the 4th of December 2019, Alyse uploads, I tried the carnivore diet for 30 days, ex-vegan, not clickbait, you won't believe what happens next. Alyse's selling of ButcherBox is actually part of her personal journey to become a better self, so I hope that you can like respect it. Tori DeSimone. Tori's got a cool 40 million views, 500,000 subscribers, and a channel as dead as a doornail. In her prime, her top videos were makeup, look at me I'm hot, my hair, my breakup, dress shopping, look at me I'm hot, and makeup. And that's basically it. Tori is just like a YouTube version of a blue-collar worker, which is an honest, salt-of-the-earth vlogger slash makeup person. She's like down there in the salt mines, perfecting her Kylie Jenner look. Yeah, sure, she's got a couple of affiliate links, but she's not selling you Jerusalem artichoke dust or like promising you that you can like Professor X shit into existence. Anyway, on the one hand, Tori explicitly states that she is not vegan. She is plant-based.
And me personally, I am vegan. I prefer the term plant-based because that's what I eat. I'm not a vegan because I don't live the vegan lifestyle. I eat plant-based.
On the other hand, Tori's ex-vegan video does have 500,000 hits, and she has a bunch of videos with the term vegan in it. So I'm going to split the difference and just do a summary, and that summary is a tale in 3 parts. Vegan, what I ate in high school to lose weight, followed by how to cleanse and detox your body with a raw vegan diet, followed by why I'm not vegan or plant-based anymore. Therese. Sarah started her YouTube channel back in June 2011, and she's got slightly more than 100 million views. Her top 8 most popular videos are Watch Me Give Birth, but raw, How to Tie a T-shirt, 50 Things is a Lot of Things, Healthy Habits for Ladies, Pregnancy but also with abs, the 50 Things video was so good I made a second one, and more healthy habits. She also just keeps coming back to the stuff I do or do not buy well. 50 things I don't buy, 10 things I still buy as a minimalist, 25 things I do not buy, 50 things I do not buy, things I buy more as a minimalist, things I regret buying after I became a minimalist, embarrassing, things I don't buy and things I splurge on. A video so nice that she did it not just twice, she did it 7 different times. I'm in labor, watch till the end, also gets an honorable mention. Anyway, Sarah is the deeply religious tradwife type. She reads the Bible as a hobby, she's homeschooling her kids, the whole 9 yards. If you're not familiar with the tradwife concept, it's basically that ye old gender roles are good, actually. So the wife is the homemaker and the child carer, and the dad is the breadwinner and the hollow, cheating husk. We've all seen the show. And of course, the moment Bible-thumping Christianity is in the mix, you get stuff like pro-life woman answering pro-choice comments.
I think abortion is totally wrong. I don't think it should ever be an option, and I think any time that you are killing a baby, whether the baby is born or unborn, it's not right. So there's a law passed in New York that abortions should be fully acceptable up to the point of birth. We're talking about fully developed babies here. But if abortion doesn't work or whatever and the baby is born, they will put the baby aside and actually decide as this baby is living and breathing if they will terminate it, if they will kill this baby. Next, I want to talk about rape and incest. Someone said, what if it was a 12-year-old girl and she got raped? Then what? I worked with a woman, and when she was 13 years old, she got raped and she got pregnant from it. She also says that justice dictates in a civilized society that you do not punish babies, you punish rapists. And that is so absolutely true. Wow. I made some people mad.
Well, that is just all cool and good and well thought through. But what wisdom from on high does Sarah have about the animals?
I'm drinking a kale, spinach, cucumber, celery, lemon, pear, parsley, mint, cilantro juice. This is alkalizing and also detoxifying. It's really, really good. I didn't want farmed meat. I didn't want meat that came out of a factory. I didn't want to eat any sort of chicken that was pumped up with antibiotics and hormones and given crap to eat and just treated really nasty, and then I'm ingesting this bird. What is that doing to my body? That's what I was really thinking. The farm market that I do it with is very small. Again, all the animals, very healthy, living outdoors, in the grass, the pastures, with each other, nothing like sad is going down. So that's how I buy my meat. It's only done ethically and sustainably. Some people will argue and say, no, it's not ethically because an animal is still being killed, so you can eat them. For me, in the Bible it says that the Lord gave people meat. They gave them the beasts of the field to use. They gave them these animals in order to fuel their bodies. Even in the Bible, how many, literally millions of animals were sacrificed because God told his people to do so. God gave us animals to serve us, but I think it does need to be done properly because it is his creation, and that's my conviction. If you have an animal, I don't know, a dog or a cat, they all of a sudden got pregnant with like a litter of puppies or kittens, would you literally think, oh my goodness, I don't have the time for this, and literally start ripping the limbs off of these dogs or cats or whatever animal somehow while they're still in the womb? Does this sound right to you? No, of course not.
So, Sarah doesn't eat dairy, and she does not eat meat, but she does not eat meat not because the animals are abused, but because eating abused animals would have a detrimental effect on her health. And anyway, the Lord told Sarah that killing animals is okay actually, but killing them by abortion is still wrong. Didn't expect Christian fundamentalism to show up here, but what do you know? And speaking of interesting people, True Biome. First thing I'll note is that True Biome is a relatively tiny channel with just 2.2 thousand subscribers. Anyway, I love this dude. His name is Ryan Parr, and here is a paragraph that Ryan wrote about himself. Ryan is a writer with over 12 years of meditation experience. He has studied a range of philosophies including Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity, Joseph Campbell, and the work of Carl Jung. He has put in significant effort to develop his understanding of psychology and how the mind works. Ryan's dedication to his craft and his passion for exploring the depths of the human psyche make him a unique and insightful writer with a wealth of knowledge to draw from. Impressive. Very nice. Ryan was vegan for 4 years and then took a pretty wild turn.
Basically, I started to look into who is funding this green revolution, this vegan movement. And then I looked into who's funding plant-based meats. And I'm starting to find General Mills and Tyson Foods. In my opinion, what they want is control of the food supply. What is it doing to other people? What is it doing to the population? It's making us weak. It's making us docile and soft. Humans are pretty easily manipulated and controlled. But I realized, like, I'm actually kind of funding or encouraging the growth of an even bigger, like, big brother. I'm becoming more reliable on the system. I was taking L-carnitine, L-carnosine, BCAAs, I was doing CoQ10, I was doing turmeric, I was like everything, resveratrol. It was like I did all of my research. Where do these supplements come from? Are they petroleum-based supplements? Are they supporting big pharma? These are questions that nobody's asking, and we've become too comfortable with the idea that veganism is the healthiest diet, that plant-based is the future, it's the way to go, without questioning, like, who's giving us this information?
A year later, Ryan elaborated on his take on veganism.
Many people disagree, but I think there's a beauty in an animal giving its life so that we can thrive and feel better and be strong and have strength to, you know, protect our friends and our family and go out in the world and conquer it.
Tangential. The next two ex-vegans are kind of tangential, so I'll just give you a brief summary. First is Tatiana Ringsby, who was, / maybe still is, a model, and she picked up a bunch of eating disorders from the famously wholesome and mental health positive modeling industry. Then, by advice of an eating disorder specialist, she dropped the plant-based diet, since having diet restrictions and eating disorders doesn't really mix. The second is Amber Alexander, who is a slice of life vlogger, and she went vegan at age 14 to lose weight, and then ditched it when it became inconvenient in college.
I'd been looking into going vegan since 7th and 8th grade, so I was like 12, 13 when I started researching it. I was a young child trying to figure out what I should eat to lose weight. And the vegan videos look the prettiest, so I was like, okay, let me click that.
I'm gonna do a hot take and say that maybe if 12-year-olds are scouring the internet for weight loss tips because of the enormous emphasis on being skinny that we as a society have decided on, maybe that's a bad thing. There is one last person that would like to do a proper deep dive on. Veladya Organica. Veladya Diana Chapman created her YouTube channel back in May of 2017, and she's amassed 15 million views, which is modest relative to the other people in this video, but is still pretty significant when compared to some other channels. Hey baby, there's a cat here. Come on, just get on my lap. I know. I love you too. Fuck. Whoop. There you go. I gotta record, my dude. I'm just gonna record with him in my lap because I'm recording 6K video and every 10 seconds is like, I don't know, 100 megs or something. But look at him. Oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's a baby. Little cat face. Little cat face. He's got a chin. Mwah. And he likes kisses. Mwah. Oh, he's got a face. Oh, he's got a face. The first thing I'll note about Veladya is that she's actually pretty cool. Or at least she used to be. She got a degree in acting from Carnegie Mellon, she's got an acting reel, and she used to sing on a stage. The 2018 TV show Instinct, featuring Alan Cumming, had a 2-season run, and it was absolutely terrible.
Pulp.
Pulp? What the hell is pulp?
Find out. It's like a B12 shot, only much, much better.
I'm gonna have to start describing all of my drugs in terms of B12 shots. Anyway, 120 seconds later, there's Veladya, trying to launch her acting career.
Well, what if I was to give Edward this bag filled with $1 million and said he could keep it if he hits me? What would he do now?
Smack him. If he doesn't do it, I will.
Veladya's top 8 videos are: watch these dreadlocks get washed, what are chakras, the truth about crystals that go up your coochie, you can change the world by just thinking really hard, steamed hams, but by steamed I mean steamed, and by hams I mean labia, advanced chakras, more dreadlock cleaning, and here's my cabin in the woods. Oh hey, is that a Naruto headband? Why yes. Yes it is. Man, I used to love Naruto. Remember watching the Linkin Park AMVs? This pierced to the core of my 8-year-old soul, the way I imagine the Bible like pierces to the core of born-again Christians. Now it's all softcore hentai, thirst-trapping 10-year-olds. We used to be a country. It seems like Veladya's always been a little bit off. So, for example, here are some snippets from the oldest available video on her YouTube channel.
And we're going to talk about the full moon that's coming into Sagittarius tomorrow. Very exciting. If the moon is what affects the oceans, what makes you think that it doesn't affect the human body that is made up of 75% water? So the first thing is energy beams. Now is the time to send those beams out. I send energy beams to President Trump. He needs it the most. Maybe you're seeing the children in Syria being gassed to death, and I send beams. I will sometimes spend 30 minutes of my morning sending out beams to different people. So while you have this full moon energy flowing within you, use it.
This really reminds me of the "do not try to fight Allah" copy pasta. Today, while astral projecting, I summoned Allah to try to weaken him so our hexing spells would work better. He is so fucking powerful. I am not at a power level to do this alone. I barely escaped with my life, and I'm spiritually injured to a great amount, but I think I'll make it. I can't imagine what he would do to a new, unsuspecting witch. I'm scared that I will have to face him again soon if I ever want to continue astral projecting. I'm currently burning healing incense and drawing spiritual energy from my crystals to try and heal as quickly as possible. Please be safe, everyone. Allah is much stronger than I first imagined, and we will have to do this together if we want to slay a god. After Veladya received bachelor's from Carnegie Mellon, the Institute for Transformational Nutrition, which is not to be confused with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, even though they're both the same kind of scam school. But so, the Institute for Transformational Nutrition gave Veladya two options. Option 1, you don't take action. You could likely be here a year from now, still trying to piece it together. You will continue to lack fulfillment and crave more. You will see others living the life you want, thinking, that should be me. Option 2, make the decision to enjoy a fulfilling career where you help others, are seen as a confident leader, and define success on your terms, doing what makes you feel alive. You can help change the world. Are you with us? Veladya chose option 2 and enrolled in the Institute for Transformative Nutrition for around $10,000. Don't worry though, there is a tuition back guarantee. We are putting our money where our mouth is. We are so certain that you can do this, that if you haven't made your tuition investment back within 12 months of graduating from our program, and you follow the exact steps we've outlined for you in the program to generate income, we'll give you 6 months of complimentary coaching with one of our master business coaches to help ensure you do. That is a lot of words to say that you are not getting your tuition back. You can also check out ITN's blog to get a general intellectual tenor. What are chakras and how can you tell if they're blocked? I need to interrupt the usual flow of the video. I'm breaking into the script. This is editing Andy speaking. So I'm looking through this stupid article about chakras and whatever, right? And then I look at the word energy and it's underlined with a link. And I'm like, oh, why is that? Now that I look at it, that's kind of weird. And I hover over it and I see that the URL completes to empaths. And I'm like, oh fuck, there's no fucking way I'm not gonna follow up on this. And so we go to the empaths section. So there's a blog entry for empaths, which is already fantastic. Great. How to protect your energy. Yes, it's true. You can't create a beautiful radiant circle of stardust around you to repel negative energy, beautiful empaths. How freaking Gucci does that sound? I started my deep dive into empathology. What the fuck? Who wrote this shit? What the fuck is happening right now? There's not even an author. Like, it's just anonymous weird shit. For all I know, it's Cynthia, which is like the lady that made it, which kind of reeks of desperation. I started my deep dive into empathology. Note to Wikipedia, if that's not a word, it really should be. Hashtag just saying. We empaths. Raise your hands out there. We also tend to attract beings who are negative because mods to a flame. Baby triple Y. What? Jesus, this school costs $10,000 to attend. I don't want to see slang on my university website. Oh my god, okay. Stay with me, Lightworker, because it's about to get even juicier. How to protect your energy. Protecting your energy field can look however you want it to look like. Seriously, this is by no means a hex or a spell. Fuck yeah, we're going back to hexing Allah. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. All good things begin with meditation. Am I right or am I right? Okay, so Veladya paid $10K to learn that she's an empath. How freaking Gucci does that sound? Alright, we've had our fun. Empaths are great. I love empath memes. Those are fantastic. But alright. Back to the script. Everything on this earth is made up of energy, and the human body is no exception, which is why energy healing is gaining in popularity as a means of improving overall health. Practices like Reiki and acupuncture can help with restoring energy flow and balance in the body. Yeah, anal sex is totally awesome and safe and not humiliating and dehumanizing. You destroyed your root chakra. It's over and you aren't going to make it. So Veladya went to a scam school, and sure enough, before too long, she started selling her own little scams. For example, here's a life-changing course from Veladya herself. This course is for you if you want to learn how to detox in a safe and effective way. You're confused about what foods to eat for optimum health. You wear sunscreen. You cook with oil. Or if you still drink tap water like a fucking idiot, you can pay Veladya $200 for 11 YouTube videos. You also get 20% off in Lydia's store. So let's take a look at that. Veladya sells services. So for example, you can, quote, connect with her for only $100 an hour. You might also remember that one of Veladya's top videos was about vaginal steaming, and, well.
I've been teaching yoni steaming for years, and the results that I have had from my clients and friends and sisters is unbelievable. Yoni steaming has been known to reduce fibroid size and reduce cyst size. It's wonderful for people who have PCOS. And recently I was just told that a friend of mine who was trying out my yoni steaming blend had been trying to have children for 5 years. 5 years. And after using my yoni steaming blend, she became pregnant. Every single herb in my yoni steaming blend is USDA certified organic. I recommend wearing a big skirt like this. That way you can sort of entrap the steam in with your skirt. All right, let's say you don't have a seat and you have no interest in purchasing one or making one for yourself. Then we can use the toilet. So now I have placed the bowl directly into the toilet. I like to sort of spread my legs to make sure that I can really feel that steam rising up into my vaginal canal. You'll feel the difference on if it's hitting your anus a little bit too much or if it's coming up the front. You want to make sure you're angling it so it's really going up into your vaginal canal. And you can either flush the herbs down the toilet, or you can take the herbs outside for a ritual and pour them into the earth. That's what I like to do to release that which no longer serves me, but you can do whatever you like. Another highly effective way to steam is by using the good old-fashioned squat method. Completely get on your knees, which is what I like to do, and then sort of come down in this all-four position and put my elbows down so that I have a lot of support. Or you can just do like this and lean back on your butt, sort of like you're giving birth, or I don't know. And you'll feel that steam coming up, and it can be quite comfortable this way as well.
And so, while Veladya is steaming her taco on camera, if you scroll way down, somewhere there in the sidebar, there's a desperate urologist yelling at people to please not do this.
As a urologist, someone who's done 4 years of medical school, 6 years of urology residency, 2 years of fellowship, which was specifically dedicated to both female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery, I will tell you that there is no scientific evidence that vaginal steaming provides any of the myriad benefits that it claims to do so.
Yoni steaming has been known to reduce fibroid size and reduce cyst size. It's wonderful for people who have PCOS.
It was revealed to me in a dream.
Now I know what you're thinking. I was so excited to steam my labia and improve my life, but you've dashed those hopes. So, is there anything else that I might be able to do that hopefully also involves my genitalia? Why, you are in luck. The truth about yoni eggs.
So today I wanted to speak to all of you about yoni eggs. For those of you who aren't very familiar with yoni eggs, yoni is the Sanskrit word for female genitalia. It actually means sacred space. And a yoni egg, also referred to as a jade egg or a love egg, or simply put, a vaginal egg, is a crystal or semi-precious stone that has been carefully carved into this egg shape. It is to be inserted up into the yoni, the vaginal canal. Just like any crystal, yoni eggs can be charged. Their energy of the crystal can be charged, and some ways to do that is by using sage. Get a sage stick, sage the entire home or wherever you keep the yoni egg, sage the room where you keep the yoni egg, and then sage the yoni egg itself to cleanse the energy from it, because crystals, if you aren't familiar with that, they give out energy and they also take in energy. So when you own any crystals, you want to make sure that that you keep the energy free flowing and positive. Another way to cleanse the energy of your yoni egg is to place it in the sun for the sun to do its magical charging work. So I have my drilled yoni egg here. This is a black obsidian. It is a very powerful crystal for releasing whatever trauma you have, whatever cords you are trying to cut as far as the root chakra, sacral chakra, your yoni energy, sexual energy that you want to release. Black obsidian is your friend. And with that said, it's not a crystal to be taken lightly, and I wouldn't recommend it as a crystal to use a lot. It is used for certain times in my life. Okay, now that I have it stringed, I am going to then tie it to my little pouch that I got my yoni egg in. My yoni egg has already been cleaned energetically and physically. So as this egg is up in the canal, we're going to add crystals to it. So we would just drop one in and notice that it gets heavier, and you'll feel it, and then you'll just keep dropping crystals in until you get to a nice weight. You're just gonna do that. Act like you're stopping yourself from peeing on yourself over and over, but not hardcore, you know. Breathe through it. As we know, and as I've said in my last yoni egg videos, these things, these crystals, are not just beautiful rocks. Crystals are alive. Crystals have energetic properties. And so I want you to know that it is real, it's not fake. The only reason why your computer and your phone even works is because there's a crystal inside.
I have a degree in computer science, and that is not... It obviously goes without saying that shoving rocks up your VJ Khaled is going to be bad for you. I also love the idea of the power levels in this, system. So, as far as I can tell, black obsidian might be too powerful for beginner use, and should only be reserved for advanced cooter magic practitioners.
Why, yes, I have transitioned away from a vegan diet. And I'm just gonna share from my experience and what I have learned over the years with food and nutrition. So yes, I actually did study holistic nutrition at the Institute of Transformational Nutrition. After about almost 5 years of strict veganism, things started to shift for me. When we were done living in the van and I moved into my mother's house, some of you remember that when Matt and I moved in with my mom, and my hormones or my adrenal glands, my stress response, something started to switch, and I started to get this insane cystic acne all over my face. I started going down the rabbit hole, following a bunch of functional medicine doctors, naturopath doctors online, going to one in real life. Remember when I got that colonic? In traditional Chinese medicine, you can Google something called face mapping, and they'll show you when you're getting pimples in certain areas what that means for inside. So the first thing I did was get my gut tested. And after getting my gut tested, I realized, holy moly, this is what's happening. So it was telling me that I need to include eggs, that I need to include butter, that I need to include fish and others. I started taking liver pills, and the amount of energy and rejuvenation I felt from just a week of taking liver pills every day was incredible.
Okay, so maybe a couple of notes here. First, after 5 years of eating plants and not having acne, Veladya moves to her mom's place and gets acne. Then she uses ancient Chinese wisdom to diagnose herself. Then she uses some sort of gut biome test that manages to reduce the infinite complexity of the human gut biome down to you should eat an egg. And then she starts taking liver pills, which changes her life. Using those pills, Veladya consumes around 6 grams of liver per day. So in other words, she's microdosing liver. And can you believe these testimonials? These are a staple in my house. Ximena Della Serna, ancestral biohack and metabolic health coach. I've looked into a bunch of other people, and they're all basically the same. And so with that, I give you a portrait of the YouTube ex-vegan community.